When it comes to Hurry Up Tomorrow, The Weeknd faces an unhinged fan and a fever dream of a movie that is mainly geared toward people who are fans of the discography of The Weeknd. So to summarize the film, The Weeknd is currently dealing with a dramatic end to a relationship. He's crashing out, starting to get insomnia, and even his best friend Lee struggles to bring him from the highs and lows of the breakup. But after a very public embarrassing concert, he finds himself locking eyes with a girl named Amina, and through this woman who has her own problems, The Weeknd tries to play her as he does a lot of the women in his life, and he ends up being put in a situation reminiscent to Misery. So the first highlight when it comes to this film, unquestionably, is the fact that even with it being an hour and 45 minutes, it'll feel like it's only a half hour because there's always something going on. If The Weeknd's not singing a song in a kind of dramatic fashion, then there's these crazy scenes where you're like, what the hell is going on? And then when you add in what Jenna Ortega and Barry Keoghan bring to this film with their acting, it makes it so that there's never a dull moment. You're always wondering what's going to happen next. And as the film goes deeper and you begin to question what's going on because you know that The Weeknd is high on drugs, hasn't slept well, and he's kind of stuck in this machine of the industry, it really makes you wonder so many things that are worth thinking about. So even when the movie is over, you're still kind of stuck into the fantasy that you was brought into. And just to note, in case you saw The Idol and you fear that you may get more of the same when it comes to Hurry Up Tomorrow, there's no need to worry about that. When it comes to Abel, who's mostly known as The Weeknd, he doesn't go for big. He doesn't go for anything that could be seen as misogynistic. Jenna Ortega's not being exploited the way that Johnny Depp's daughter was in The Idol. Instead, he's much more subtle, he's emotional, he plays it more, I don't want to say tame, but he's not necessarily going for big. He's definitely trying to match what Jen Ortega and also Barry Keoghan are giving him, and he keeps up quite well, but it should be very clear that he is trying to be an actual actor who's not trying to live off of sensationalism or shock value. He's trying to portray a character that's truly losing his mind, is going to a dark place, and it's not really clear to him or the people around him if he can get out of the toxic cycle that he's in. With all that said, if you're someone who's not strongly familiar with The Weeknd, especially with the whole arc of what this character, and maybe Abel and Extension, have gone through, you may feel like there's a lot of stuff here that's not connecting. But as someone who, granted, have not really listened to the deep cuts of The Weeknd's albums, but have watched videos that kind of explain not only who Abel is, but also the character that is The Weeknd, with watching that, I got what some things meant. I got to understand there might be more to Jenna Ortega's character and Barry's than what meets the eye. And with that, I found myself more able to appreciate what was going on. With all that said, though, I would say that this is worth seeing, but I don't know if it's something that needs to be seen in theaters or not. And I mainly say that because the price. So, yes, is this something that comes off very cinematic? Does it have this desire to be big and certainly a gift to the fans of The Weeknd, especially those who've been fans since the beginning? Yes. But I would say if you're not a deep cut fan, you're kind of a more, I like the singles, I'm aware of who he is, but I don't necessarily have that strong of an interest in him. The further away you are from being a major fan, the less you may appreciate or even enjoy this movie, so I feel like you have to keep that in mind when it comes to potentially watching this.